Travis, my good soul. You know notice I got light now. I had to do it myself, which, no big deal. But, the brand new maintenance guy for the coronavirus apparently didn't get the instruction from the property owners that they can't take care of maintenance issues. And so I haven't seen him back after he gave me the bulbs to put in myself. Yeah, I'm concerned he may have gotten himself fired by helping me, doing his job. But yeah, he came the other day and gave me the light bulbs, and he worked on the paneling outside, painting it. Hasn't come back to finish. So they fired the previous guy who'd been with them for 8 years because he's at high risk for coronavirus. And though they didn't tell us that that's why he got fired, I know damn well that's why they fired him. They consider maintenance an essential job, and he needs to come to work, regardless of the risk to his life and those he may spread it to, even the tenants. So, what's interesting about the Church of Lucifer, as I've gone over, and I have to do it in every single video apparently, because if I forget to do it in one video, new viewer Mormons think that they can spew hatred and antichrist behavior on me. In other words, Luciferian doctrines upon me, and attack me with Lucifer's plan of happiness, and thus proving that I was right. But it's not a matter of a contest of who's right and who's wrong. It's just a fact. The church has the symbol of Lucifer, and they purposely placed it in specific places to show those who are in Lucifer's coven that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been usurped, conquered, taken over, and is controlled and does control the whole state of Utah from the original founders of the organization. And the Book of Mormon goes over all this for us. They told us exactly what to look for, and sure enough, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints follows it to a T. And one of those is idol worshiping. Idol worship is the belief that an idol has powers over human beings. It can control human beings, can direct the affairs of human beings. And thus, anciently, when they started to implement idolatry as the original origin religion de-evolved, people would say prayers to the various gods of the different life forces in life. For example, if you're a farmer and you need the crops to grow, you pray to the god of agriculture or the god of rain, maybe even both sometimes, to hedge up your bets, depending on how rich you are. And you say prayers, you give offerings on the altar, and that's supposed to ensure a good crop. Now obviously that's a 50-50 chance, and so half the time you're wrong. And people get fooled into thinking, oh, I just didn't pray hard enough, I didn't make enough offerings, etc. They blame themselves rather than waking up and saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm putting my trust and faith in an idol. People don't see it. And it's been effective since its conception. And so, yeah, Lucifer's church loves idols, as the Book of Mormon tells us. The devil of all devils delighteth in idols. But it's not for the purpose of actual worship. It's for the leaders to enslave the people. It's a distraction away from the leaders being the ones responsible for the harmful actions to the people, and you then get to blame the people for their lack of devotion, lack of faith, whatever consequences the members of the faith do not get for their investment, which is a gambling. That's what idol worship is. It's a gambling institution, and it's illegal in Utah. But they also have insurance companies which are gambling institutions, and so it slides right by the government. Not supposed to have pyramid schemes either, but they still have the church, and they still have USANA, and others who have tried to start. I stopped one. Had to go through the Better Business Bureau to do it, but it was successful in that respect. So, just understand, Mormons. I was Mormon, born and raised, faithful and true, quoting from the hymn. Unless it was a primary song, but I'm sure it probably made a hymn. But true to the faith. My ancestor, my direct ancestor, Evan Stevens. True to the faith. Yep, he was one of those that got fooled into coming to Utah. He was one of those that were denied a polygamous wife, denied a wife, which I always wondered, why did he not get married? And people tell the story, well, he had a love as a child and a teenager, and she chose another man, and so that's the way they tell it, is that he vowed, no woman is good enough for me now because I didn't get the one I wanted, excuse. And his cousin had been his housekeeper, and so the tour guide at the gravesite up on the hill by Temple Square, they talk about, oh, here's Evan Stevens, and he's buried next to his cousin, and I knew the story that when he died, she then asked the church if she could be married to him, sealed to him for all eternity, even though she was a cousin, and it was granted, and he never had an actual wife, and I realize now why. It's because Brigham Young started polygamy. He extorted women back before the Pioneer Trek, come with us, but you got to be married. You can claim to be sealed to Joseph Smith if you want, because you're not ugly enough to be one of my wives. Or you're a hottie, you have to be sealed to me, or Heber, or one of my Danites, and that's why. The ones who got skipped for marriage were the Mormons who got screwed on having a wife because of polygamy being instituted. And just checking out another ancestor of mine. Whoops. Oh, no, no. Through the final. Yep. Oh, he did have 3. A minimal amount. John Solomon Fulmer. It says he has 3 spouses. But the leaders got dozens. And so, yeah, he was extorted to come along, since he was the one who gave Joseph Smith the gun, so they had to be on his good side to fool him, and they gave him a couple extra wives on top of it. Let's see if I can get to his family. Utah years. What's his family? They're not. Let's see. Mary Ann, who died. Oh, wait a minute. Lived until his death. With 3 wives, did not share the same household. Lived 30 miles apart. Well, that's great. Okay. He served in the capacity with. He was never put into a position of high leadership. He was in the Council of 50 under Joseph Smith. But, he was married, let's see, with a partner. Established Fulmer and Mitchell Mercantile with a partner. And was married to Mary Ann Price in 1837 in Nashville. That Mary Ann Price is his original wife. Baptized 39. Wow, right after the leadership crisis. So he knew nothing about what was going on. Went to Pennsylvania in 42 for a mission. The incomplete story about him in the Carthage jail incident. Fulmer wrote, Smiths had been jailed, they had been incarcerated, not on charge and bail because it's evident that the magistrate intended to outreach the pile of the brethren so as to impeach those on trial for want of bail. Happened there on strength of command. Interesting. He has inside information, but it's not part of the other stories. Fulmer told of lying on the floor next to Joseph. Put your hand on my shoulder. No. Who told you this? Richard Windmill? The Life of Solomon Fulmer? Who are you? You're not family. Get out of my family life. That ain't the story. Alright. Remained in Nauvoo until 47. And yeah, the Brigham Young, to keep him, had him appointed as trustee of the church, including handling church business as disposed of property for Mormons during and after the exodus from Nauvoo. With so-and-so. He married Olive Amanda Smith Cook on 46. Again, after Joseph died. married her after Joseph died, and she was the second wife under the early practice. So yeah, Brigham Young was having people put into positions of trust and giving them an extra wife on top of it to seal the deal. And my ancestor got fooled by it. But I wouldn't have been born in the church to then find out that it's the wrong church if he hadn't gotten fooled himself. So, yeah, they don't mention the third woman here, I don't see. After his return in 55, 52 to 55. 52 is when Brigham Young established polygamy churchwide as a requirement for eternal exaltation. So when he returned, he married a third woman, Sarah Ann Stevenson. In 56. So much misinformation and disinformation with the church. So I didn't intend to go this long. Oops. But yeah, it's too obvious, and yet Mormons hate me to show that they are servants of Satan. That's what you're doing when you attack me, when you attack others who are not Mormon, when you attack those who leave the church because they want nothing to do with Lucifer's plan of happiness. You're just following Lucifer's plan of happiness. You are servants of Satan.